It's a dark and cloudy day, but I know where I can find a bit of sunshine.
Here we're in the middle of the forest, just up from mountain waters. And we have little ferries all around us. And you can see that if you pan up, you can see there's a change of vegetation from just above us to right where I'm standing. And so what we've got is a change in, or an inflection point from concave to convex, and we call this the key point. We're actually going into the natural environment to draw inspiration on how we can actually repair landscapes that have been degraded over the last 1,000 years or 10,000 years, for example. So we really find that Nelson provides us with the classroom. In fact, the classroom is not some building per se, even though we do have some instruction in there. It's really important that we can go out into nature and pull inspiration back into what we're doing.
Every day was a highlight. This place is so beautiful and so inspiring, and things that we learned, actually I learned way more than I thought I would. The course was way more in depth than I anticipated, and it exceeded my expectations on every level. And I am just, my brain is pouring out my ears with ideas. I am so excited to go apply and change and grow and teach and let everybody know how amazing this is. It's nature at its finest.
A definite highlight was seeing examples of completely bare and eroded areas that are producing no vegetation changed in a matter of years into these thriving, beautiful, diverse areas.
I learned that there are so much possibilities for living in a different way, more sustainable. I really enjoyed the food of this course, but I think the highlight for me was doing the actual work on Tuesday, when we really start digging a swale, building a dam, and on Wednesday when we saw different people's properties, possibilities, and what they were doing, and give our advice about it.
The place is a really good, relaxing environment. After, studying all day and cramming your head full of information, you've got the fresh air, you've got big comfy couches, good food, good people, and and then if you want to enjoy the wildlife and stuff as well, you soak it all in, and so you can just let it all go.
Nelson is an amazing small city, large town that's got this. It's nestled on the edge of the Selkirk Mountains, on the shores of a 120-mile-long pristine mountain lake. The retreat center here is 2.5 kilometers out of town, so we can walk a series of mountain trails or mountain bike into town in 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on the trail. But if we go out the back door in this direction, it'll be 4 days before you see another human being. So we're surrounded on 3 sides by what's known as the West Arm Wilderness Park, which is a 27,000-hectare provincial wilderness area.
So being able to understand the different layers of a forest and how soil works and wildlife interactions and all of those things are really, really important, and something that is quite a bit different in the Nelson course. Something that we can provide to students is access to that wilderness. Whenever we do earthworks, we have got to first remove the topsoil and then bring it back in afterwards so that we have something to establish. But if we don't plant something into that topsoil, we're going to lose it, and that's the most valuable asset on the property here.
My favorite part of the course was learning about compost and learning its value, learning how to make it, how it's interconnected with everything, and how it's literally the most important thing that we have, and how it feeds our plants, it feeds our trees, which cycles the air and cleans the air, and it is the be-all, end-all, and it is now my calling.
I would say my favorite thing about the course is breaking through all the levels of social sentiment to get to some real ideas about how to make the world function better and live a better life.
I always thought that when you pee on things, it's really bad. but in all essence, it's actually really good. And using it as kind of a fire up for your compost heap, or just even being on a tree. Dogs have been doing the right thing the whole time. I think it's awesome. It's beautiful out here in Nelson too. So, thank you.
I learned that there are so much possibilities for living in a different way, more sustainable. I really enjoyed the food of this course, but I think the highlight for me was doing the actually work on Tuesday, when we really start digging a swale, building a dam, and on Wednesday when we saw different people's properties, possibilities, and what they were doing, and give our advice about it. I learned that there are so much possibilities for living in a different way, more sustainable. I really enjoyed the food of this course, but I think the highlight for me was doing the actually work on Tuesday, when we really start digging a swale, building a dam, and on Wednesday when we saw different people's properties, possibilities, and what they were doing, and give our advice about it.